It's really important to recognize that the unconscious mind makes the changes that we make. That is why we're going to give the conscious mind an understanding of how the unconscious mind works. So this means that we're going to talk about a part of you of which you are not conscious, that you're not conscious of right now. Until I mention it, you're not conscious of the feeling of your feet against the floor, or the backs of your legs against the chair, or your back against the chair. Maybe you're not conscious of the noises that are going on around you. All of those things that you weren't necessarily conscious of. And certainly you weren't conscious of your eyes blinking, or your breathing, or the beating of your heart. And all of those things are things that your unconscious mind does for you. Now, the prime directives give the concept of change perspective, as the fact is that when we create change, the change that we create is going to happen at the unconscious level and in conjunction with the unconscious mind. Now, the first prime directive of the unconscious mind is that it stores memories. So the unconscious mind stores all of our memories, and it's done in two ways. It's done in relation to time and not in relation to time. So some memories are stored, for example, in a timeline or of similar experiences, or not in relation to time. For example, languages that we learn. So the words and the meaning of the words are not necessarily stored in relation to time. So it's the job of the unconscious mind to create relationships or connectedness at the unconscious level. So that's really important in relation to the unconscious mind storing our memories. Now, this is often referred to as the Gestalt, and it's defined as an organized whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its parts. Now, Gestalt theory emphasizes that the whole of anything is greater than its parts. And that is, the attributes of the whole are not deducible from analysis of the parts in isolation. So the word Gestalt is used in modern German to mean the way a thing has been placed or put together. Gestalt in NLP is a collection of memories around a certain topic or a certain context. Now, 2, the unconscious mind is the domain of our emotions. So the unconscious mind is where all of our emotions live. Someone who is not connected to their emotions may not have as good a connection with the unconscious mind as someone who is well connected to their emotions. So the unconscious mind is the part of us that feels, although we are certainly conscious of our emotions. So typically, emotions are stored and organized and kept in the unconscious mind. Number 3, organizes all your memories. So the unconscious mind uses a timeline, and the mechanics of that is the Gestalt. So our memories are organized according to time and also organized according to subject, as in Prime Directive 1. Memories are also organized according to feeling, and that's what allows us to have, for example, a chain of memories of love or a chain of memories of anxiety. The unconscious mind will chain all of those things together. Now, Prime Directive 4 is the unconscious mind represses memories with unresolved negative emotion. Now, the unconscious mind will protect us, and it does this by repressing memories with significant negative emotions on them. We may hold some recollection of these events, although they may be foggy or dim. So, number 5, represents repressed memories for resolution. So, from time to time, the unconscious mind will bring those memories up in an attempt to make them rational and to release the negative emotions on those events. Your unconscious mind knows that these negative emotions are not good for us. You may have memories that come up in the past, and you may say to yourself, oh, maybe I need to think about this. And you may have gained some level of resolution on it. And if you have gained some resolution on it, sometime in the past, a certain memory, what you will probably find is that having gained resolution on it, it ceases to bother you. Number 6, it may keep repressed emotions repressed for protection. So, as mentioned, the prime directive number 4, the unconscious mind does have the right to keep repressed emotions repressed for our protection. That's often the mechanism when we don't actually remember the full content of a certain memory. Number 7, runs the body. So the unconscious mind runs our body. It's better that the unconscious mind does it than that we have to do it. Imagine if you had to consciously remember to breathe. Think about that for a minute. You have to breathe in and then breathe out and then breathe in and then breathe out. And you'd have to sit there and go, well, it's time to breathe in. You don't have to do any of that. Everything happens automatically. Who ran your body last night while you slept? And of course, that would be the unconscious mind. Now, number 8, preserves the body. Now, the unconscious mind maintains the integrity of the body. So the unconscious mind will always take as its highest job the preservation of the body. 9, is a highly moral being. So the unconscious mind accepts the morality which you've been taught and which you have accepted. So this is why everyone can have a different morality. This is because the unconscious mind has to accept a certain morality, and it will either accept or reject the morality that you grew up with. Number 10, enjoys serving and needs clear orders to follow. Now, the biggest issue here is that most people give the unconscious mind really inconsistent orders. So, for example, one day I am a great person, and the next day I'm no good. And what happens is the unconscious mind gets confused and isn't sure what it should do about it. One of the most important things that we can do with regards to the unconscious mind is to remember that the unconscious mind enjoys serving and it needs clear orders to follow. One of the most important things that we can do is to give our unconscious mind consistent orders and direction and consistent directives.